What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for this really quick video, and today we'll be talking about if your motion styles affect blocking. Of course, we all know that motion styles can affect your sprint speed on defense, which in some way could help you on blocking shots, but I'm not talking about that boost. I'm talking about if it will unlock new animations. I've been covering motion styles since 2K24, and I received lots of comments saying that it does. So in this video here, I'll give my take. And by the way, I may show some comments in this video, but I don't mean to, put them on a spot or whatever. I will just use it as a reference on how some players think about the game. And with this one, try to watch the video fully because if you skip some parts, trust me, you will lose the whole context of the video. So now let's get right into it. So I will get this one really straight to the point. I don't think your motion styles will directly boost your blocking. Again, of course, the sprint speed of motion styles can affect your blocking in some way, but I just don't think it will give you direct boost like new animations. I know some of you might still believe that it affects it, but before you leave a comment, please hear me out first. And by the way, my conclusion is not just based on one testing, it is based on lots of things. First one, which I think the most solid proof, blocking animations are not included on the preview on your motion style screen. The only things that a motion style will change are the ones that are shown on the preview. So for example, in here you can see when I pointed to LeBron, it previews a stance and some sprint animations. So it means that LeBron motion style will change your defensive stance and some sprints. And in here you can see with Tyler Hero, no stance at all, it only has some sprint animations. So it means that that's the only thing it will change to your player. So the fact that we don't see a blocking preview here, it means that motion styles don't touch blocking. And I might say, oh Choots, how can you be so sure that these previews here are really accurate? Actually, I tested a lot of them. In here you can see, here's the list of all motion styles that has a defensive stance preview. And after checking all of them, yes, they have their own unique stance. Then I checked some random styles that are not included in that list, and in here you can see they are all the same. So it means if it doesn't have any preview, it will use default stance. And by the way, only Kawhi motion style has a lateral movement preview, and I tested that as well. And yes, every other motion style has the same lateral movement animation, and only Kawhi has a different one. So I think those tests are really solid enough to make you believe that these previews here are really accurate, that the only things that a motion style will change is whatever that are shown on that preview, nothing else. So before we proceed to my other tests, just want to invite you guys to like the video so it can reach more viewers, especially at this point of the game cycle. Views are really down, so your likes will really help this video reach more players. So now going back, these following tests here are just minor tests. It's just to make my case stronger, but trust me, it will add some sense. So I made a quick test. I took two motion styles that are really different to each other. First one, I got Dwight, which lots of players say that the blocking and challenge animations are really good. And for the second one, it has to be something that is one of the least blocker on the list. So I took Kelly Olynyk. And here you can see their animations are just the same. I know it's not much samples, but the fact that I chose the best blocking player's motion style and a not so much of a blocker motion style, and their challenge animations are just the same, it's a decent proof that it doesn't touch it. Next one, let's test for perimeter contest. In here we got Kawhi, which has a defensive stance preview, and we got Kuzma, which doesn't have a preview, which means it's using a default stance. You can see there, they're different, but the moment I hold right stick up, you can notice there, they will do the same animation. And even when they go for a challenge, they are the same. To be honest, if there's something that will be affected by motion style, it should be this one, because it's directly connected to your defensive stance. So the fact that this one here is not really affected, it makes the case stronger that it doesn't affect blocks. Next one, this one here is not directly related to the topic, but I tested for rebounds as well, and I found out that it doesn't affect it at all. Those Rodman-ish rebound animations can be triggered by Tyler Hero motion style as well, which is not really a rebounder. So if you think that you're unlocking new animations on Rodman, the fact is, those animations can be done by any other motion style. So it's not special. So the reason why I brought this one up is because most players that say that motion style affect blocking, they say that it affects rebounds as well. So if you knew that I debunked the rebounding aspect already, maybe you'll believe me more that it doesn't affect blocks. And I might say, oh Choots, then how come when I changed my motion style to this and that, then the next game I blocked more shots and I rebounded more? I know what you mean, but trust me, even if you don't change a thing on your player, if you play like 20 to 30 games, it's normal that everything won't be the same every game. Imagine if you change something in the middle of that 30 games. Let's say, for example, you changed your motion style. Now you will start to believe that whatever changes you will feel is because of the change that you did. But in fact, even if you don't change a thing, some games will still feel different. So I think what's happening is a mixture of overthinking and latency. Sometimes we tend to take each terms too seriously, like the moment we see something named motion style. Now we start to believe that all things that relates to motion will be affected by this motion style. Some even think that dribbling is really affected by motion style, even we already have a lots of dribble style options. And you gotta keep in mind, latency affects everything. If one game your latency is really good, everything will be responsive, like rebounds, steals, shooting, blocking, and everything. Then the moment latency got bad, all these will be affected. So that's one of the reasons why some games really feel different. So again, all these things that I said convinced me that your motion styles don't affect your blocking, only your movement while blocking. So if you still don't believe it and you think that styles like Dwight Howard or Gafford gives you lots of blocks or rebounds, go ahead, use it. I don't want to rain on your parade. But my only concern is, imagine if you think that Gafford gives you more blocks or rebounds. Now you'll be missing out on the sprint speed, which I believe the thing you should be concerned about. That's why I keep pushing that sprint speed is the main thing of motion styles. So that's all for this one. If you haven't watched my sprint speed series, just click whatever height range you want on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.